Welcome back to Lesson 2 and Module 3 of Post-Production. We've gone over in Lesson 1, we went over setting up Adobe Premiere Pro, setting up your timeline, setting up a sequence, importing your files. Now we need to find the music, and we need to find sound effects, because music helps tell the story, and sound effects just helps make it better. And what am I doing with my hands? I don't know. But we're getting into it, all right? Okay. Let's see. All right. Let's switch over to screen capture. Here we go. Look at there. Look at our beautiful footage. Scrubbing through. Look at that fine young man. Okay. Self-love, people. Self-love. Okay. All right. So, we've scrubbed through. Now we need to find some music. So there's a few options you can go to find music. If this is going to be posted on YouTube, YouTube offers music in their studio, YouTube Studio. They offer music. Storyblocks, companies like Storyblocks, Motion Array, Artlist, they all offer music options. I personally use epidemicsound.com for all of my music. So here we are, epidemicsound.com. Okay, so here's what we do. What I like to do is I like to start going through different music. So I already talked about I'm looking for something kind of country. And country. Do I want traditional country, contemporary country, country blues, countryside? Let's try countryside and see what happens. Let's play it. Turn this down a bit. That's a little bit too happy. All right, so you see on this side right here, you got country rock, countryside. It shows the BPM right here. You know, BPM in music, it's the beats per minute. I've already found the music. I've pulled it into the project. This is called The Climb by Telsonic. It's kind of as a low build. It kind of tapers off at the end. All right, so let's pull it in. Just go ahead and grab. So you're right here in this section right here. You see these little squiggly lines right there? Looks like they're called waves. In audio, this stuff right here is called wave files, okay? The waves, it flows. The audio flows. Waves, okay? So we're going to just drag this in. I'm just going to drop it in. All right? So, let's see how it plays. kind of works. Actually, it works pretty good at this part right here. But I want to make it start building and make it start sounding epic, okay? This is where, as editors, where we can start to shape the feeling and the emotion of the movie or of the video, the music. We can really shape how someone's feeling. You know how it's like the altar call when your pastor comes up. Let me go ahead. You know how in the altar call when your pastor gets on stage and he starts talking, and then the piano or the guitar comes in and real nice and slow and all thinking like. That's what music does. It opens up the heart, opens up the soul, you know? It helps you feel emotion. So if someone's like angry, you want music that's going to be angry, or fearful, you want music that's fearful to kind of to ensure that the feeling is being backed up, all right? So let's continue on in the edit. All right, so I like it, but I want it to start building like right here when the farmer comes up and kneels down. I want it to start building here, okay? So let's see, where does it start building? Let's listen through. Like right in here. Right here. So let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and bring this over. So like right here, and see how that works. Okay. I like it, but I want it already be kind of big right here. Let's pull this out the beginning and just let's pull this out right here. Let's see what happens. And then right here is where I want the music to be. I want it to be full right here. So right here, this downbeat, boom. I want that to be. I want this. So like right there. And bring that in. So that wasn't exactly on, so we're just gonna. I've already marked it out already where the downbeat is where I want to be. There we go. that works. That works. That really works. Okay, so we found a track that works. But what if we went a bit deeper and found a track that or made the track to be able to be customized even further? Something called, at Epidemic Sounds, they offer stems. What stems are basically the different tracks. What stems are basically the different tracks that are, it breaks it down from drums, bass, instrument, and melody. 4 segments, and sometimes vocals, if you have vocals. That allows you to make a custom track. So over here, as you can see on like the main, here, let me blow this up. Boom. Let me mute that. Mute these. Mute these. So here, you just listen to the music. Do you notice that? I just use the guitar and sounds like a little bit of synth in there. And then I was able to bring in just the drums right here. And then bring in the full track right here. And then cut even further to bring in the outro right there. And do that. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay? All right. So how we do that. Let's search out. What we're going to do is you're going to, over here, find it, download. And once you start downloading, you can, on stems here, you can select all stems, and you have the option of downloading WAV or MP3. I suggest, depending on what storage you have on your computer, WAV is a higher quality audio source. MP3 has a smaller, let's just say it's just smaller, and it will work easier with less powerful computers. But I always use a WAV because I like to have as much data and much quality as possible. So we'll just download that, click that, but then it will come in a zipped file. Okay, you unzip the file and you can just take the folders and just bring it into your project. So I've already done that. I did try different tracks, just to be honest with you, but it didn't really hit the way I wanted it. I wanted it to hit, and I always pull from post rock, the post rock section. The post rock section really has some great builds, especially for stems or for sermon bumpers and things that really want to build emotion. Post rock builds are just a it's a secret weapon. I'll just say it like that. It's a secret weapon. So let's go ahead and strip this down. Let's take that out. And so let's find the instruments. And the great thing is about the stems, they are already labeled, okay? So let's just hover over it right here. Instrument, there we go, instruments. One cool trick I like to do is go ahead and pull in everything, and I've left the the back of the track here, so you can line it up a lot easier and to make sure everything lines up. So let's drag this out. Okay, that wasn't instruments. I'm sorry. Melody. Melody. Let's go ahead and just do this. Just cut it down. And by the way, I'm using hotkeys for that. So V is for selection, and C is for the blade. So I've already lined it up, as you can see right here. So let's make sure that it's lined up perfectly for this. And it is. So I'm just going to do this right here and just drag it up. Now, we want to do that big build there with drums. So we're just going to find the drum stem, and we're going to drag it in. Same thing we did earlier was to do this right here. Just drag it down to create a new track. Now I want this to be. There we go. Here we go. All right. So now I don't want all that drum there, all those drums there. I want it to be. I want the drums to start right here, okay? So what we do is go right there on the downbeat. Just drag it up. Let's make sure it works. By the way, how I am zooming in really quick, I am using the plus and minus buttons on the keyboard. There we go. Big build, big build, big build, big build. Boom. Now, as you can see, as the audio over here is clipping is bad. You want to bring that down. Make sure that it is, no more than minus 3 dB, okay? Just gonna drag this down. So how I'm doing that is I'm just there's this line here on the audio right here, and you can just drag it up or down. That is the audio level. And if you want to make a fine adjustment, hold down Control if you're on Windows, or Command on Mac, and you can have a lot of control right there. You can also cheat. Just go to Effects Controls, find this and volume, and then you can just put in -3. And there you go. Done. Now, this is actually going a little long. I have this slated out to be like 45 to 46 seconds. So this is actually going a bit long. So let's see. You see the farmer. He's kneeled down. You technically don't need to see that right there. So let's just do the act of pouring right there. Let's just tidy that up. Let's tighten that up. All right, so now I want to, all right, it's a bit tighter. But still, it's over a minute long. So how can we turn some time off? Let's actually take this part right here, because it's already established that you're at a house in the middle of the country. We're just waiting for the guy to come out of the house. So let's just trim this back a bit. Boom. Done. So, and then let's bring this over. Let's see how that works. And I don't really like how that right there, since you've already got that motion there. So let's go right here for this right here. That way it completes the motion and you're not doubling up the motion. And let's just tighten that up. Whoa, what's going on there? Aha, boom. This right here, it's a double up again. So let's start right here with this right. Nope. Make sure that this is only the thing selected. And boom. All right, we're doubling up again. So right there, boom. Let's tighten that up. And then just bring in the match frame to do that. So now, because we just tightened it up, we also need to tighten up the audio too. So let's just do it. Let's just do it to it, bro. Okay, so we've chopped it off, and let's see. We've already said that we want the drums to start coming in right here. So let's go ahead and drag the audio up right there. And then, boom. Let's see how this works. By the way, it was hot. It was really hot. That sweat is real. is this already sped up? Is this already sped up? Make sure it is. So what can we do? Just tighten this up again. To tighten this up more. Because the original is less than 46 seconds. So to recreate this, let me see, how fast is this? 300. 300. I'm going to go over in next lesson to develop this right here. Fun fact, we're going to use Dolly. I use Dolly to create this. So, but back to the main video. So we already discovered that this is too slow. So let's bring this up to 300. Oh, lo and behold. Boom. Okay. That's much faster. Let's actually pull some more time out of this right here. We make it really short. Not really short. See, and then right there, we can go ahead and cut into this right here. I want the big part to be right here, though. So I guess we need to pull some extra time out of this. Boom. Editing is all about testing, iterating, and just playing around just to make sure that it just works. I mean, you as the editor, you're going to be working with probably leadership, but then if you're just a one-man team, you're the guy who's wrote it, shot it, and now you're going to be editing it. So you need to really start to think about the edit of the editing process is basically you're starting over. In my eyes, you're just starting over because you've wrote the script, but you've had to make changes, and then the editing, and then in the editing process, now you're just going to be making even more changes. I mean, just to make it flow and make it work. There's this saying in editing that I live by is, don't be afraid to let go of your darlings. And that's basically saying that don't be afraid to forget about your perfect vision of the video, because the editing process can basically create a completely different concept or a completely different idea, because you can realize that in the editing process that you thought your script and your edit and your shots were good, but it's not flowing in the edit. And as the editor, now it's your job to make sure that it flows and it has one whole cohesive story. that can be told. So that's what this whole process is. Everything we're doing here is trying to tell the story and making sure that you have a cohesive story. So let's go back into Premiere Pro. All right. Let's do that. So again, I wanted the drums to start coming in right here. So okay, so now it's feeling a little bit more. Now we can actually pull some time, start adding in some time. There we go. But now again, I want this right here, the seed that's coming in. I want that to be right here where the big part is. So let's drag this over and see how that looks and how that feels. All right, let's start to. All right, that definitely flows a lot better. Okay, so. Okay. All right, so we've locked in the music. Now let's start thinking about the sound effects, the little bits of goodness that adds to the story, that kind of helps tell the story. It's kind of weird when you see a door open and you don't hear a door open, or someone, and you're not hearing them exhale. So Epidemic Sound also offers sound effects. Same thing for Storyblok, same thing for Motion Array, same thing for Artlist. But again, I use Epidemic Sounds for all of my music and sound effects. There we are, right there, perfect. Boom, in, out. Okay, so right here. Now what we're gonna do now is we're going to find the start point of the, and we're just going to add it right there. Boom. Not on time. Right when you see the lips go, make a kissy face. That's where you start the blow. There we go. Timed better. That's timed better. All right. Let's focus on the door opening. So I've got a house door opening right here. Kind of like this right here. Nope. I don't like that noise right there. So I'm just going to go right here. Go in. Out. Drag it in. right, so it's a little long, and it's starting to close. So what we're going to do is we're going to layer. We're going to layer the audio, okay? Right there. So start in, out, I, O. And we're just going to time the opening and the close. And it's kind of overlapping like that. So what we're going to do is, you see this right here on your timeline? This is where you can start bringing in fade. A fade out, okay? So we're going to fade that out. Fade that in and do a crossover. So what would you think this sounds like? You think about when you see these small, very small seeds, but in a huge cluster, and it's right here on the dirt. What does it look like? I think it looks like sand. So what I did was I found some sand being poured out. That's perfect. Right there, in and out. So right here where the pour starts, right here. It's like in and out. So, and I don't like this part right here where it's kind of, and it's already stopped. So what we're going to do is do this right here and do a fade out. So let's see how that look. Let's see how that look. How that sounds. That works. But I think there's something missing here. I really do. I really do think there's something missing here. If you're thinking like you're in the South, what's the first thing you think of if you're in the South and in the country? I think of crickets, cicadas, grasshoppers, that type of noise, which I found right here. It just adds that we're in the country, y'all. Let's bring that in and see what happens. You You see how it kind of brings everything together? That's called... What's that called? It's basically like the room tone of a track. So if you're in an office setting, what do you thinking of hearing? You want to hear printers going, people talking, typing on the computer. If you're going to be in an environment, think about what you'd hear in that environment. In fact, what you can do is, when you're not watching this lesson, you can close your eyes and listen to your environment and see what you hear in the atmosphere and the environment. Picture the left side and the right side, and what do you hear? All right? All right, so just to speed this up, we've found a graphic here, and it's in my asset folder here, and I want to put this right here. Because we gotta end it out. We've got to end the video, okay? So we need it. I want this to be the very end. So what we're going to do is... that right there. That. Downbeat. Boom. Right there. That's your downbeat. So we're going to do that. Rip delete, bring it in. Doesn't work that great, but what we're going to do is do Command Shift D or Control Shift D. That's to bring in a crossfade. Fade out. And then do Command D to put a cross dissolve at the end of this. Boom, done. All right, so I'm going to leave you here. Leave this right here. We're going to dive into creating this graphic here. All right, in the next lesson. So I will see you next time.